You are listening to the French Kiss Life podcast, where we explore what it means to live artfully and well. I'm Tonya Lee, your hostess. Let's get started. Hey friends, how are you? I'm actually in a closet right now. I have this really fancy setup at my daughter's house. I wish you could see it. I am in her closet with towels around me because her house is so open. The noise just bounces off the walls. And so here I am in a dark closet talking to you. And you know what? I hope this is inspiration that you don't have to wait for things to be perfect in order to take steps towards your dreams. You know, I've definitely had that voice in my head that says, Tonya, you should have a professional studio to record your podcast, or a professional film crew to do a video. And if I listened to that voice, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be talking to you right now. One of the gifts I think that I have is on the Kolbe assessment. If you don't know Kathy Kolbe, she created this great assessment talking about your implementation style. And I'm a quick start, which means I get an idea and I just go for it. And sometimes that lands me in places like this, in a closet, recording a podcast. But you know what? I'd rather do things and them not be perfect than to sit around for the rest of my life thinking about doing things and never having done them at all. And I know that there's something that you want to create right now. You have a dream, and perhaps you have that little voice in your head that's telling you it's not a good time. You need to wait. You need to be more professional, whatever that voice says. And I'm going to challenge you not to listen to that. To not keep waiting day after day, month after month, year after year to show up for your dreams. And that's actually a great segue into what I wanted to talk to you about today, which is the number one thing your dreams ask of you. Last week, I was sharing with you that my big dream is for French Kiss Life to touch the lives of 1 million women within the next 5 years. And part of that vision is behind the scenes. For the last year, we've been doing a rebrand. And you all, it has required so much from me. It is required that I become a different type of woman, that I evolve beyond states of being that I know have kept me stuck in the past. And total side note here, but I'm super excited to share one little thing of the rebrand that we just posted on YouTube. You can head over to Tonya Lee on YouTube and see the brand new Welcome to French Kiss Life video. And I'm so excited to share that with you. So make sure you go and check that out later, because that is just a taste of what is to come. And I also just want to say really quickly, thank you all so much, because it could not have happened without you all. Us women in the community is what makes French Kiss Life so amazing. But here's the thing. With the rebrand and with every dream I've ever had, it's required me to evolve. And you all will hear me say this again and again, and you may not believe me until you experience it, but the best part of creating a dream is who you must become in the process. So I'll give you an example. 5 years ago, I had a client who came to me with a really big dream. She wanted to move to Paris, France. And on our very first call, I told her, I said, you know what, that's easy. And her mind went crazy. She was like, Tonya, no, it's not easy. And she went on to give me all of the excuses as to why it was so hard. Things like, I don't have the money. I'm not sure if I'm going to like living there. What if it doesn't work out? My family is going to think I'm nuts. I don't even know how to speak French. Like, the list went on and on. And it got me to really think about why we justify all of the reasons why our dreams can't happen. But you know what? I get it. The reason why we do that is the brain loves the familiar. It's safe. It's known. Even if we know we want something more, our brain will try to convince us to stay where we are, because the brain doesn't want to work that hard. But you know what else is going to happen if we live our lives that way? We're going to have boring, disappointing lives full of regret, because deep down we know that we're capable of so much more. So with this client, I let her dump all of her reasons on me why it couldn't happen because she was trying to talk herself out of her own dream. Because our reasons as to why our dreams cannot possibly come true, they can seem really rational and clear and justified, but they're actually just lies. Justifying to stay where you are is a dream crusher. Yep, I said it. It is. So I repeated to her, moving to Paris is easy. People do it all of the time. I mean, really think about that. If you took out all of the mind drama, what would it really require to move to Paris? Sure, you would have to get some paperwork. You would have to find an apartment. But again, think about not having the mind drama around it. It's pretty easy. It's just steps that you take. But here's the thing. The hardest part about moving to Paris is not moving to Paris. It's becoming the kind of woman who moves to Paris. Because here's the thing, going after your dreams is going to be uncomfortable. But the woman who moves to Paris, because that dream is so alive and intense for her, she's willing to feel the discomfort. And as crazy as it sounds, being a woman who can feel discomfort is the most amazing part of creating your dreams. Really think about this. I tell clients all of the time, when you're willing to feel all of the emotions that come with being a human being, there's nothing that you can't become, create, and do. And that's why I love what our dreams ask of us. They ask us to evolve into the types of women who can create them. You see, we can't keep engaging in the same thoughts and feelings and actions and expect our dreams to come true. It's just not possible. And in working with women to help them make their dreams come true, I have identified a pattern of being that will keep you right where you are every time. And believe it or not, it has nothing to do with circumstances. If that were the case, Oprah would not be Oprah. We also wouldn't have Jay-Z and Sarah Jessica Parker, and we certainly wouldn't have French Kiss Life because all of us started from very humble beginnings. So it's not about circumstance. You see, creating your dreams requires that you break addictions to certain states of being. Every dream I have had as a woman has asked me to evolve. And I want to be very clear here. I'm not evolving because I think where I am isn't amazing. It absolutely is. You see, I want to constantly be in a state of becoming. I want to evolve and create because that's part of what it means to live artfully and well and to feel alive and full of passion. To me, that's what it means to French Kiss Life. So I noticed during this whole rebranding over the last year that as I stepped more and more into my bigger dream of reaching 1 million women in 5 years, old patterns coming back. And I've seen this in so many of my clients that I have coached around creating their dreams. And the good news is that I recognize them, and I want you to recognize them within yourself so that you don't stay stuck in them. Because when you're in these 3 states of being that I'm about to share with you, it can seem really true. It can cause you to want to contract and hide and stay where you are. But with the knowledge that I'm about to share with you, you will have no excuse. You will be able to catch yourself and realize, oh, I'm crushing my dreams right now. What do I need to do to get out of it? So let me share with you the 3 things that you will have to give up in order to create your dreams. And every time this happens, I want you to see it as an invitation to evolve as a woman. Okay, deal? So the first one, the state of confusion. How many of you claim to be confused about your dreams? Raise your hand if you can relate. And I will tell you that this was my favorite way to hide from my dreams. And as it relates to the rebrand, just this past year, I found myself making it so complicated in my head. So just to give you a peek into my head during this whole thing, I was having to ask questions like, how can I combine my love of style with personal development? Can I make that work? Also, who do I want to reach specifically with this work? And then I also had to go back and forth about, do I really want to give up my name and create something much bigger than me and go with French Kiss Life? And I noticed that I wanted to stay confused because as long as I'm confused, I don't have to do anything. As long as I'm pretending not to know the answers, I get to stay where I am. And where I am, I know really, really well. Where I'm going, you all, it's foreign land. And the crazy thing is, I love to travel to foreign places, but with my life, I found myself subconsciously sabotaging myself by being confused. And here's the thing, I was waiting for a confused mind to offer me clarity. And it turns out it doesn't work that way. Here's the way to get out of confusion. You decide and you keep moving. That's it. Seriously, you make a decision and keep the momentum going. I think we have in our minds that we're going to make a wrong decision. And because we're afraid we're going to make a wrong decision, we make no decision at all, which is the worst decision. And so I have started to train myself to just decide. I tell my team all of the time, I'm like, we're spending way too much time talking about this. Let's decide and move on. Let's keep the momentum going, because there are no wrong decisions. There are decisions that teach us, that instruct us, that guide us, that lead us. But we have to be courageous enough to make the decision. And the best way to stop confusion is to become a woman who is decisive. You see, confusion is an excuse to hide and slow your progress towards your dreams. And so I finally had to call myself out on my own BS. I know my message. I know what French Kiss Life is about. I know who I want to reach. I know I want it to be so much bigger than me. I want this to be a community. French Kiss Life is about living passionately, artfully, and well. It's where we focus on self-development and style. We look at our inner and our outer worlds. It's about living with grace and grit and gumption. And for the love of God, it's how I seek to live my everyday life. So I know what we're all about, and I know the kinds of women that I want to be a part of this growing and amazing community. You see, I was not confused, but I was really good at pretending I was. Now I have a rule for myself, and I want you to have the same rule for you. I never allow myself to say I'm confused, ever. I don't let my clients spin in confusion either, because I know that this is just the mind's tricky way of keeping you where you are. As long as you don't know, you get to stay exactly where you are. Just like my client Rachel, who told me she was confused about what to eat. Her dream was to lose 20 pounds and keep it off, and I assured her that she was not confused. I challenged her to verbalize what foods feel good in her body and what she needs to eat in order to lose weight, and she recited a perfect meal plan that inevitably led to weight loss of 22 pounds. You see, she was never confused. She was just afraid of doing the hard work and feeling the discomfort. And guess what? You're not confused either. Sure, you may not have all of the answers on the how, because no one does, but deep down, you know what you want. So be brave enough to state it out loud. Don't allow yourself to be confused. So that's the first one, the state of confusion. The second one is the state of doubt. Okay, let me be clear here. Doubt doesn't kill your dreams. Because the bigger your dreams, the bigger the doubt. The doubt is going to be there, but listening and believing your doubt does. When it comes to your dreams, expect there to be doubt. If it's not there, then you're not dreaming big enough, whatever that looks like for you. You see, every day I'm filled with doubt because I'm creating things that don't yet exist. And during this long French Kiss Life rebrand, I've had so many doubts arise. Things like, am I making a mistake of going to French Kiss Life? Did we choose the right designer and developer and branding expert and you name it? Is the investment worth it? Are women going to love it? You see, your mind's going to pull out all of the punches to keep you scared and stuck because the mind's lazy. It is. It's like we're really comfortable here, even though we may be miserable. We know how to do this really well. And doubt is one of the ways that it does it. So when it comes to your dreams, expect doubt. And when it comes to doubt, you have two options. Number one is to listen to your doubt. And when you listen to your doubt, you really believe the sentences in your head. Things that say, that's not possible. Why bother? You're going to fail. People are going to make fun of you. You're ridiculous. You've never been able to do it before. And when you entertain these thoughts, guess what happens? Absolutely nothing, except staying where you are and living a life of regrets and what ifs. But good news, there is another option. And option number 2 is to doubt your doubt. Just this morning, I woke up full of doubt. Here's what happened. I had a conversation with a potential CFO for the company. Now, this is an area that I know I need help with. I know that having this person will alleviate so many unknowns and unnecessary stress. I know this person is essential in helping me realize my dream of having French Kiss Life touch the lives of 1 million women. But my mind was going absolutely insane. Things like, Tonya, this is a serious commitment. It's so much money. You're going to go broke. You've done okay doing it alone. You need to put that money away for Sarah. Why don't you just settle for where you are? It's not so bad. But I've been in this rodeo with my doubt for a long time, and I can either get on the bull and ride my heart out, or I can run and sit on the sidelines and watch everybody else make their dreams come true. This is where confidence comes in. And I had to dig really deep into who I really am. And I choose to believe that I am resourceful and smart, and I'm on a mission to create a movement of women who are committing to living artfully and well. So how can I expect you to do scary things if I'm hiding out in my own house, afraid to hire a CFO? So I began to counter every doubt I had. When I heard it's too much money, I said to myself, you know what? Money is abundant. If I believe in my vision and I want it to grow, I must be willing to bet on myself and what French Kiss Life stands for. When I heard you're going to go broke, I had to say to myself, or I may become the richest woman on the planet. When I heard you've been doing okay alone, I had to remind myself, yes, and I'm ready to do better than okay. Imagine what I could create with an amazing team of people. When I heard you need to put money away for Sarah, I had to remind myself I need to be an example to Sarah of what's possible. And when I heard, why don't you just settle for where you are? It's not so bad. I had to say to myself, you know what? Where I am is amazing, and I'm excited to create more. My 90-year-old self says for me to go for it. So when you think about your dream, what doubts do you have? Doubt is not a sign to quit. It's a sign to evolve beyond the doubt into the kind of woman who doesn't let doubt stop her. So that's the state of being number 2, doubt. So let's talk about the third one. And ladies, this is a big one. The state of caring what other people think. Also known as other people's opinions. Because when it comes to your dreams, everyone is going to have an opinion. Your mother will think you're crazy. Your coworkers will think you're being too much. Your friends will be upset that you no longer want to drink. Your adult kids will throw out the guilt trip card when you create boundaries to support your dream. People may laugh at you. People will leave negative reviews. Just expect it. But caring so much about other people's opinions is one of the biggest obstacles that I see when it comes to making dreams come true. Because unfortunately, women care more about other people's opinions than they do their own. And I wish I could tell you that everyone is going to support you and cheer you on, but I'd be lying. Just like with doubt, the bigger your dream, the bigger other people's judgments of you will be. At least that's been my experience. But here's what I want you to consider. Those people don't live your life. So why do you give them so much of your attention? Yeah, I know it's easier said than done, but it's doable. Listen, I know because I was a former people pleaser who was terrified of people thinking badly of me. You know, the best way to get over that, by the way, is to put yourself out there and let people think bad of you and prove them wrong and feel the discomfort of it and keep showing up anyway. It really works. I remember I used to get negative comments on Facebook and I would just be crushed. And now I realize that their comments say so much about them and very little about me. Because think about it this way, people who leave you positive comments, it's a reflection of who they are. Just like when people come onto your Facebook page and are just outright rude and mean, that says so much about who they are. So the great thing is I just get to show up and be me and realize whatever comes at me is a reflection of those who are saying it and doing it. And so people pleasing. Here's the thing that I've come to understand. When you practice allowing people to have opinions, because they're going to anyway, and not make it mean anything about you, and you keep showing up, you will do two things. Number one, you're going to be amazed at what you're able to create. And number two, you're going to be so proud that you got over your addiction of hiding out in your own life out of fear of what people are going to think and say. And I know it's very uncomfortable, but you know what? I wouldn't trade the life I've created for anything. And it required for me to become the kind of woman who doesn't let other people's opinions stop her. You know, I just had an example of this because I recently vacationed for 6 weeks in Europe. And when I got home, a so-called friend made a very snide comment. She said, well, it must be nice. Not everyone gets to jet set around Europe for 6 weeks. And I was thinking, you know what? It is nice. I have worked hard to create this. I didn't say that. But here's the thing. She had a very strong opinion about my doings. But imagine if I let that stop me. Imagine if I sat at home and I thought, you know what? I'm afraid these people that I'm not even that close to are going to think really badly if I travel. So I'm just going to stay home. What kind of life would that be? It would be terrible. I wouldn't have rode a camel in the desert of Morocco. I wouldn't have seen the stunning sunsets of Porto. I wouldn't have been invited to a VIP wine tasting at Chanel and Gucci in Milan. I would have missed all of that because I'd been so afraid of what people will think. And I certainly wouldn't have had the belly laughs that I had with my friends that, seriously, I can't even describe how much we laughed on this trip. And my heart needed it so much because what this other friend didn't realize is that I've been taking care of my daughter for 2 years. And this was sort of a celebration trip of, wow, we're getting to the other side of it. But I didn't have to explain that to her. The old me would want to justify it. But the new me, I didn't have to justify my dreams. And neither do you. You get to want what you want without apology, and everybody's going to have an opinion about it. And when it comes to the rebrand, I also faced other people's opinions, especially when I decided to go with French Kiss Life, which you're going to be seeing more of in the very near future, I promise. But some people thought I was crazy. Why don't you use your name as your brand? Are you hiding? Everyone is switching to a personal brand. Why are you switching to French Kiss Life? Don't you think you're making a mistake? Then there are some people who are completely turned off with the name French Kiss Life. Oh, trust me, I've had some people come on my Facebook and just tell me how disgusting and inappropriate it is and it's not very elegant. You know what? That is their opinion. I'm not for them. And French Kiss Life is definitely not for them. But imagine if I allowed these opinions to rattle me. I'd be hiding. I'd be in confusion. I wouldn't do anything. And the worst part is I wouldn't have listened to my heart. So here's the thing. I want to build something that extends beyond my name. And the phrase French Kiss Life makes my heart smile because it reminds me of that moment in time when this whole movement started. And so I like my reason for what I'm doing, and that is all that matters. And while I respect people's opinions, I'm not going to let it stop me. So let me ask you a really important question right now. Why would you put your future into the hands of other people's opinions? Really think about that. And not just your future, but your kids and your family's future. When your friends say things like, why are you spending so much time trying to grow a business? Are they the ones that are having to pay your bills and feed your family? No. When your mother says, honey, why don't you just eat the cake? Is she the one that has to live in your body and wake up in your body every single day? No. Or when your coworkers say to you, I can't believe you're going to a retreat in Paris. That's silly. They're not the ones who have to wonder how that trip would have changed their life. But listen, I get it. It's not easy to get over our people-pleasing tendencies. It's not easy to just stop caring what people think. It's uncomfortable to go after what we want, especially when people are telling you that you're insane and selfish and delusional or incapable. But here's the thing. Dream making isn't for the faint of heart. Surround yourself with people who cheer on your dreams, who inspire you to dream bigger, and who are in the arena with you. Stop listening to those that are sitting in the cheap seats. Be more committed to your dreams than you are trying to control other people's opinions of you. If you're ready to make your dreams come true, these are the 3 things you must give up: the confusion, the doubt, and caring so much about other people's opinions. And when you do, be prepared to truly amaze yourself with what's possible. Just ask my client, the one who wanted to live in Paris. Guess where she's living now? Yep, in a beautiful flat in Paris. That's what happens, my friends, when you refuse to be confused, when you start doubting your own doubt, and you stop listening to other people's opinions. And this is what our dreams ask of us. They ask us to become better, truer, wiser, stronger, more courageous, more gumptuous versions of ourselves. And to me, this is the best part of creating your dreams. Have a beautiful day, everyone, and I will see you in the next podcast. Cheers.